Hey everyone, so today we'll talk about AWS Glue. So this is going to be a basic introductory video for AWS Glue. So if you don't have any background in AWS Glue, then this is a video for you. So let's get started. So what is AWS Glue? AWS Glue is a serverless data integration service that makes it easier to discover, prepare, move and integrate data from multiple sources for analytics, machine learning and application development. AWS Glue is an event-driven serverless computing platform provided by Amazon as a part of Amazon Web Service. It is a computing service that runs code in response to events and automatically manages the computing resources required by that code. It was introduced in August 2017. The primary purpose of Glue is to scan other services in the same virtual private cloud or equivalent accessible network element even if not provided by AWS, particularly S3. The jobs are built according to the compute time with a minimum count of 1 minute. Glue discovers the source data to store associated metadata, that is table schema for field names, type, length, in the AWS Glue data catalog, which is then accessible via AWS console or APIs. What is ETL? Since AWS is used for ETL purpose, so let's understand what is ETL. ETL stands for extraction, transform and load. So extract is the script will read the user data from S3 bucket to a single data frame. You can think of a data frame in a pandas. Transform means, let's say that the original data contains 10 different logs per second on an average. The analytics team wants the data to be aggregated per each 1 minute with a specific log. Or if you want to clean something, if you want to change the data, those can be done in the transform stage. And load means write the processed data back to another S3 bucket or any database or anywhere. So that is the load stage. So how does AWS Glue works? AWS Glue can run your extract, transform and load jobs as new data arrives. For example, you can configure AWS Glue to initiate your ETL jobs to run as soon as the new data becomes available in Amazon Simple Storage Service. So you can see in this diagram, which is on the screen right now, AWS Glue will read data from the S3 bucket, and it also has a AWS Glue data catalog, which manages data with the data catalog service as a central metadata repository. AWS Glue ETL schedule ETL job to transform and load the data, and that again can be checked with Amazon CloudWatch for monitoring, log and push notification to CloudWatch. And at last, for the loading part, so at last it is load the transform data into the target data store. It can be target data store can be another Amazon S3 bucket or Amazon Redshift. So it helps you to it allows you to select your preferred data integration engine in AWS Glue. You can source data can be from anything, so such as S3 bucket or Amazon DynamoDB or Amazon RDS or database running in Amazon EC2 or any databases, RDBMS or SaaS based solution. And choice of it also gives a choice of interfaces. So here you have AWS Glue Studio, Amazon SageMaker, and OpenShift interface supports interactive and job workloads. So you can see here AWS Glue for Array, AWS Glue for Python Shell. So lots of data integration engine available. You can choose a preferred serverless scalable data processing engine with automatic scaling and pay-as-you-go pricing model. And for loading, it can load the data into data lakes, Redshift, data warehouses, etc. You can use the data catalog to quickly discover and search multiple AWS data sources. Once the data is cataloged, it is immediately available for search and query using Amazon Athena, Amazon EMR, and Amazon Redshift Spectrum. So you can see here on the left hand side we have the data source from S3, RDS or Redshift. So we can discover data and store associated metadata in the AWS Glue data catalog. Then AWS Glue data catalog manages the data with the data catalog service as a central metadata repository. Then AWS Glue ETL reads and write metadata to the data category, and at the end you can access it using Amazon EMR, Redshift, Amazon Athena. Access the data catalog for ETL and analytics, and you can use Amazon QuickSight to run the reports with the Amazon QuickSight and other business intelligence tools. AWS Glue Studio makes it easier to visually create, run, and monitor AWS Glue workloads, and it can build ETL jobs that can move and transform data using a drag and drop editor, and AWS Glue automatically generates the code. So in this diagram, you can see in the left hand side we have data sources such as RDS, S3, Redshift, AWS Glue Data Catalog manage the data with Data Catalog service as a central metadata repository. It using Amazon Data Glue Studio, you can design the ETL jobs in an interactive visual interface. AWS Lake Information helps you to secure your data lake. AWS Glue ETLs schedule the ETL jobs to transform and load your data, and you can load your data into any data lake, data warehouse such as Redshift or Amazon S3 bucket, and you can derive the analytics using any analytics tool. So use case where AWS Glue fits. So first is simply if you want to simplify ETL pipeline development. So with the help of AWS Glue, you can remove the infrastructure management with the automatic provisioning and worker management and consolidate all your data integration needs into a single service. Second use case is if you have to discover data efficiently, then AWS Glue is the solution. AWS Glue quickly identify data across multiple AWS datasets and then make it instantly available for querying and transforming. Third is use case is interactively explore, experiment on, and process the data using AWS Glue. You can you get interactive sessions. Data engineers can interactively explore and prepare data using the integrated development environments or notebook for their choice. And next use case is for AWS Glue is support various processing frameworks and workloads. More easily support various data processing frameworks such as ETL and ELT and various workloads including batch, micro batch, and streaming. What is AWS Glue Studio? AWS Glue Studio is a graphical interface that makes it easy to create, run, and monitor data integration job in AWS Glue. You can visually compose data and transform workloads and seamlessly run them on Apache Spark-based serverless ETL engine in AWS Glue. For more information, see what is AWS Glue Studio online. With Amazon AWS Glue Studio, you can create and manage jobs that gather, transform, and clean data. You can also use AWS Glue Studio to troubleshoot and edit the job scripts. So AWS Glue features, what are the different features? So first is discover and organize the data. Next is transform, prepare, and clean data for analysis, and build and monitor data pipelines. So how do you access the AWS Glue? So you can access the AWS Glue with multiple ways. You can create, view, and manage your AWS Glue jobs using the following interfaces. First is AWS Glue console. It provides a web interface for you to create, view, and manage your AWS Glue jobs. Next is AWS Glue Studio. It provides a graphical interface for you to create and edit your AWS Glue job visually. Third is AWS Glue section of the AWS CLI reference. It provides AWS CLI commands that you can use with AWS Glue. And fourth is AWS Glue API. It provides a complete API reference for developers. So in what happens in AWS Glue console, so you can use the AWS Glue console to define and orchestrate your ETL workflow. The console calls the several API operation in the AWS Glue data catalog and AWS Glue job system to perform the following tasks. First is to define AWS Glue objects such as jobs, tables, crawlers, and connection. Next is schedule when crawlers run. Third is define events or schedules for job triggers. Fourth is search and filter list of AWS Glue objects, and fifth is edit transformation scripts. So this is the right hand side, you can see AWS Glue Studio on the interface which helps you to create ETL jobs. AWS Glue Studio is a new graphical interface that makes it easy to create, run, and monitor, extract, transform, and load the ETL jobs in AWS Glue. You can visually compose data transformation workflows and seamlessly run them on AWS Glue Apache Spark based serverless ETL engine. Now let's see what is streaming in ETL in AWS Glue. The AWS Glue enables you to perform ETL operations on streaming data using continuously running jobs. AWS Glue streaming ETL is built on the Apache Spark structured streaming engine and can ingest streams from Amazon Kinesis data streams, Apache Kafka, and Amazon Managed Stream for Apache Kafka, Amazon MSK. Streaming ETL can clean and transform streaming data and load it into Amazon S3 or JDBC data store. Use streaming ETL in AWS Glue to process event data like IoT streams, click streams, and network logs. The AWS Glue job system. The AWS Glue job system provides managed infrastructure to orchestrate your ETL workflow. You can create jobs in AWS Glue that automate the scripts you use to extract, transform, and transform data to different locations. Jobs can be scheduled and chained, or they can be triggered by events such as the arrival of new data. Serverless ETL jobs run in isolation. AWS Glue run your ETL jobs in an Apache Spark serverless environment. AWS Glue runs these jobs on virtual resources that it provisions and manages in its own service accounts. AWS Glue is designed to do the following. It segregates customer data, protect customer data in transit and at rest, access customer data only as needed in response to customer requests using temporary scoped on credentials or with a customer's consent on IAM rules in their account. So what are the different data sources and destinations that is supported in AWS Glue? So AWS Glue allows you to read and write from multiple data systems. One of them is Amazon S3. Next is Amazon DynamoDB, Amazon Redshift, Amazon Relational Database Service, Amazon RDS, third-party JDBC accessible database, MongoDB and Amazon Document DB with MongoDB compatibility, and other marketplace connectors and Apache Spark plugins. Now, in case of data streams, AWS Glue can stream data from the following system: Amazon Kinesis data streams, Apache Kafka, and AWS Glue is available in several AWS regions as well. Now, what are the components of AWS Glue? AWS Glue has multiple components. One of them is data catalog. The data catalog holds the metadata and structure of the data. Next is databases. It is used to create or access the database for the sources and targets. Table. Create one or more table in the database that can be used by the source and targets. Fourth is crawler and classifier. The crawler is used to retrieve data from the source using built-in or custom classifier. It creates user metadata tables that are predefined in data catalog. Next is job. A job is business logic that carries out an ETL task. Internally, Apache Spark with Python or Scala language writes this business logic. Next is trigger. A trigger that starts ETL job execution on demand or at a specific time. Next is development endpoint. It creates a development environments where the ETL job script can be tested, developed, and debugged. So in summary, we can say that AWS Glue makes it easy to integrate data across your architecture. It integrates several analytics services and Amazon S3 data lakes. AWS Glue has integration interface and job authoring tools that are easy to use for all users, from developers to business users, with tailored solution for varied technical sites. With the ability to scale on demand, AWS Glue helps you focus on high value activities that maximize the value of your data. It scales your data for any data size and supports all the data types and schema variants. To increase agility and optimized cost, AWS Glue provides built-in high availability and pay-as-you-go billing. AWS Glue consolidates major data integration capabilities into single services. These include data discovery, model ETL, cleansing, transforming, and centralized cataloging. It is also serverless, which means that there is no infrastructure to manage, with flexible support for all workloads like ETL, ELT, and streaming into one service. AWS Glue supports users across various workloads and type of users. So thank you so much for watching today's video, and if you think the videos are helpful, do like the video and subscribe to the channel.